this exercise, you're going to take your head and look downwards. Just find a 45-degree angle with your eyes. Try and find where the floor meets the wall in front of you. You may need to play around with this angle based on your symptoms. So we're going to angle downwards, and all we're going to do is retract backwards, staying in that same plane of motion. So that diagonal plane, kind of like this. Now, as you do this, you may have symptoms. It's okay to push right up to those symptoms, or you may need to push into the symptoms, just depending on what's going on with you. Just make sure that as you do more repetitions, you don't hit any red lights. So red lights are things get worse as you go. It could be that it's worse with repetitions. It could be worse afterwards. You can have a certain painful motion or a painful thing that you can trigger your symptoms. And as you do more repetitions and then you stop the repetitions and that becomes more painful, that's a sign to stop. Red lights are not always a bad thing, but you want to keep an eye out for them. They may mean that you actually move on to the next phase. You just need a new stretch. So if you hit those red lights, stop. You can even try again later, try a little bit lighter, still see if it's a red light. If things don't change at all, that is a yellow light. That means you can keep going, but watch out for a red light. It may turn into a red light pretty quickly, so keep an eye on it. Green light means you're getting more range of motion or things are getting better as you do more repetitions, just feels better as you go. Or it feels better afterwards. So you could have some resting symptoms or symptoms with a certain movement or action, and you do the repetitions and then it feels better with that movement or action or just resting symptoms after you do repetitions. It means keep going, keep going, keep going. Now, if you get symptoms down into the upper trap, in between the shoulder blades, maybe in the shoulder blade itself or the shoulder, down the arm, even in the fingertips, you have to look for centralization, peripheralization. Centralization is anywhere in the fingertips, forearm, or arm, and it's starting to move as you do more repetitions. Maybe you have pain here, it starts to move, and then you have pain here after a few repetitions. Then you have more pain here, and then less here, more pain into the upper trap, and then finally the side of the neck, and then the center of the neck. That is centralization. The number one thing that they found in the evidence that you move in the right direction and things will get better quickly if you keep going. So keep going with it if it's centralizing. Now, if you're doing more repetitions, you start feeling it, that's moving down, symptoms are going further down like this. As peripheralization, red light, you need to stop. Again, not a bad sign, but you want to make sure you don't want to push through red lights. One important note is in terms of once you get in between the shoulder blades, mid back and upper trap, it could be not clear what's centralization, peripheralization. So in between the shoulder blades, pain right here, that moving towards the upper trap. So after repetitions moving up towards here, that's centralization. Now if it's in the upper trap and then in between the shoulder blades or in the shoulder blade itself, as you do more repetitions, that's peripheralization. If you feel in the upper trap and it's in the side of the neck, another sign of centralization. And if you feel on the side of the neck and then finally right in the center of the spine, that's also a sign of centralization. So keep going with centralization.